He turned his camera on. You see a nigga with a
Popping
boneless afro,
why?
a Steve Harvey mustache,
Yeah, just hey,
and
Bamford,
like a
just look into
old
that
doctor's
chat,
office
man.
with his
Bamford just
PC set up with
oh
a hole in the wall, and you can hear the fans on his PC. Just it sounds like a fucking vacuum cleaner, just just non-stop, bro. You can see him wiping his forehead. You know he getting hot from the hot heat just coming up off the laptop. Then he
hey,
mad because he getting like 20 frames on Tarkov.
he just be kept up in the air, just showing his the pipes to the
Oh my god.
Then this nigga just
black
bust out a
people.
freestyle and start singing on some shit.
What is up? We are back with another story time vid, and this one I'm going to be chatting about some interesting people I've met who were either wild individuals themselves or stories shared by others along the way. I've been trying to experiment a little and throw some, I guess, more variety content centered around gaming out there. So if you like this vid, consider going back and watching some of the other videos. I don't want to draw this intro out too long, so if you do enjoy this video, give it a like, consider subscribing and sticking around. So, without further ado, let's lock in and get into the story. So, I used to stream a lot back in 2014 through maybe 2019. And during this time, I met some people that maybe I would consider less desirable at my current age and maturity. But I definitely considered them decent people from the Banfu about 8 years ago. Now, this first guy I'm going to talk about, like, he was genuinely a nice guy. But his life seemed kind of crazy outside of gaming and streaming with him. I remember shortly after meeting him, I want to say we met through League of Legends. We're going to call this guy D. And D had told me sometime after meeting him that he had been talking to this girl online and they had recently started dating. Only she was from the UK and, he was in the US. He then goes on to say that he decided to fly her out so she could live with him. And, I'm thinking that's like, wow, like how long have you guys known each other? This might not be the best idea, right? But hey, these are just my own thoughts. I didn't really say anything to him at the time, which is kind of a big red flag. The younger, dumber version of me, when I have like red flag issues, I'm like, they're actually probably genuine problems. Like, it's not just like something, that's to the wind. It's something that needs some concern. But whatever, I thought maybe, hey, they're just probably a good fit for each other, and maybe they just got really good vibes with one another. Well, I'm pretty sure about 2 weeks of her being there, they had already broken up. Which that's just like so insane, man. Listen, I've heard people dating that live together then break up, and it's just like a super awkward situation there because you usually got to stay together for a while before you can move out. I mean, most of the time, or if you don't have anyone else or anywhere else you can go, at least you're probably just gonna stick around until you can figure something out, at least for a little while. Because I couldn't imagine personally flying across the world to be with someone only to break up 2 weeks later. And hey, you're planning to live with this person, so you probably brought all your stuff over. It was a big ordeal, like probably like multiple times worse than if you were just, didn't come across the world to live with this person, right? Well, I remember it was probably the first couple of days that Overwatch came out. Not Overwatch 2, but the 2016 Overwatch. Everyone I knew at the time was playing, and I had some other friends I had met through gaming and streaming and whatnot, and they're all in a party playing as well. So naturally, I hop in a party with them, and I thought to myself, let me just get a few hours of Overwatch in before I go to work. At some point during our gaming session, D hits me with a message asking if we had room in our party, and we did, so I shot him an invite. After the first game, I can tell D is lit. He said that he had not slept for maybe like almost 2 days, and he was playing Overwatch and just like crushing Bud Lights the entire time. I could tell he was blasted because when we were trying to push the payload, D screaming, let's go, like over and over, dude. And he's just being insanely overhyped and screaming about everything, though, right? I probably got in another 2 or 3 games before I had to head to work. And when I get back, of course, your boy wants to play some more. So I grab a drink, I walk over to my PC, and I load up Overwatch. And one of my friends that was in the initial party with when D came in, he was online. So I pop in his Discord just to see what's up. Immediately after getting to the Discord, my friend hit me with, dude, that guy that joined us before you left for work was crazy. I just started laughing because he was wigging out a little bit before I left. Also, I just had no clue that he was going to keep playing with the other group of friends. You know, I assumed maybe he was going to head out when I did. So I asked this friend, you know, what was up? But he really couldn't explain exactly what D had done or said or whatever, other than just being like loud and abrasive. Then I remember I was like, dude, I'm pretty sure D was streaming before I left. Let me go see if this VOD is still up, and I'm gonna see for myself what went down. So I go to his page and I'm scrubbing through the VOD from that day. I see that my friend wasn't lying, dude, because D was wilding out, dude. Bro, the the level of screaming he was doing was just insane. The mic just peaking, like, dude, just peaking out of existence. It's crackling and shit. But the most hilarious thing that just made me buckle in laughter was when two people in the party, you know, after I had left, they're having a conversation about something, you know, and D was like drunkenly trying to get like a word in about something, but I don't even think it was related to the conversation the other two people were having. But you can see it in the VOD. Like, he's sitting there and he's just going, hey, hey guys, hey, hey. And the other two are just like gonna finish their conversation, I guess. And just at the top of his lungs, like the next hey he gets, he goes, hey, just like demandingly screaming it at him. And they both shut up and they're like, hey, man. And they're just kind of laughing like, who is this guy? It was something like, oh, you see how the color of Reinhardt's shield, or like, it was like something like just so not even related, dude. So I got like a pretty good chuckle out of that. But like, I was thinking back, because when I say he was hyped, dude, he was like, let's go, get to the payload, yeah, let's do it. Dude, it was wild. It sounded loud on the headset, but I didn't really take an account of like if you were in a room with someone talking that loud, like yelling that loud on a mic, right? But the next day comes around and I get a message in Discord from D, and he had sent me a message saying that, like, he was like, dude, the girl that's been living with me that flew out here from the UK, she was like terrified. I'm like, dude, what happened? He's like, well, I was just, you know, I had my door locked and I was in here gaming and drinking. I had my headphones on and they were up really loud. And, you know, of course, him just screaming, he can't hear anything. But she was like trying to knock on the door to be like, dude, are you okay? Like, what's going on? Because he was just being like so aggressive screaming. I don't think he was like breaking anything. He was just super loud. And, you know, translate the loudness of his voice, dude. Like, his neighbors had called the cops and they were like checking, and I don't know if his, I guess his awkward now roommate answered the door or not, but they just ended up going away because no one could get a hold of him because he just couldn't hear or anything. Dude, I still wonder what this guy was up to, because he was one of those guys, man. He was super nice, really friendly voice. Like, he was, I think maybe he was like in the military or something. I think he started getting moved around a lot. But man, I wonder what's happening to him. D, if you're out there, you know, shout out. I hope you're not like, you know, wigging anybody out by crushing 100 BLs and screaming at your game all night, dude. So this brings me to the next person I'm going to talk about. And this situation with this guy it's kind of weird because I've not met him, but the whole happenings of this was just a few days ago. It's very recent. But Arena Breakout Infinite's closed beta released recently. So I've been playing, just beating the brakes off that game. I've been having a lot of fun. I met a couple of people after a raid one time and, you know, joined up with them, and it led me to this Discord of these guys they're just hilarious. Well, the initial guy I met, he's pretty cool, but like the other guys that are in his Discord are just absolutely hysterical. And also, the funny thing about the guy I'm going to talk about is someone I've not met yet. The only reason I know about him is because of what I'm about to tell you here. We were playing Arena Breakout. We're on the Valley map, and we're in this one area, and we're getting kind of shot at, or we're not getting shot at, but I'm telling the group, like, yo, there's shots, you know, like, I don't know, like west whatever number, right? Well, the other two guys are like showing off these backpacks that they had found mid-raid, and I'm sitting here trying to call coordinates out, and I end up getting tagged and getting killed. I'm like, guys, what are you doing over here playing like dress up while we're getting shot at? Like, what's going on? And, you know, we just had like a laugh about it. It was just like funny. It's hilarious actually. So after I get killed, you know, they wrap up the raid, and see, these guys are kind of talking and like laughing at, like they're talking like I think I missed something, but they're talking like inside joke speak, right? So I'm kind of cracking up because what they're saying is funny, but I'm like, dude, I don't know what you guys are talking about. So one of the boys in there, they're like, yo, man, there's this guy Dank, bro, and if he was in your situation, like how you died, he's like, dude, he would not shut up about it for probably like 2 or 3 days. So I then asked him, like, why do you guys hang with this guy if he just like rages? And one of the guys says, man, he's nice, but he just flips to like bipolar like nuts all of a sudden, like pretty regularly. At least that's their words, right? Well, it turns out that these guys have known each other for years, like maybe almost a decade, and they had originally met in DayZ, so none of them know each other personally, like, or in real life, I guess. And at some point, one of the guys in the group just start clowning on this guy. And see, he's not in there, right? He's like, dude, when you meet this guy, and I'm like, shit, man, I don't know if I even want to meet him, dude. He sounds crazy. Because he's like, I'm like, well, like, put it like, why you, other than him raging, what's so crazy about it? He's like, man, he's like, this guy has to smell like cheese, man. Like, he smells like dishwater. And dude, if you just hear like a group of black dudes just like roasting somebody, like this eviscerating somebody, it is like one of the best things. Like, it's one of my favorite reasons I've kept coming back to this Discord, bro. These guys are hilarious. And they say like, bro, I'm telling you, like, they also played a lot of Tarkov too. I think a lot of them started playing Arena Breakout Infinite because I guess they were looking for something like more Tarkov-esque, right? And he just goes on, he's like, bro, like, this guy is like, he turned on his camera one time, bro, and what we saw, man, he's like, bro's living in like a dentist's office. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? He's like, bro, it's like wood paneling everywhere, bro. He's like a hole in the wall. He's like in this Chinese restaurant. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about, man? He's like, bro, I'm gonna break it down like this. Imagine this guy turns on his camera. He's got the Steve Harvey mustache, bro. He's like got this crazy lighting. It looks like he's in a like a dentist's office or some crazy restaurant, like an old Chinese restaurant. He's like, bro, you can hear his, like, on his mic, he's like, you can hear his PC just wah, like burning like a fan. He's like, when he's got his camera on, bro, you can see it's just like hot in his room, bro. He's like, you know, he's musty. He's like, you see like the sweat on his forehead. He's like, bro, he's got this PC from 1999, wondering why, like, he's getting like 5 frames on Tarkov, getting pissed and everything. So that's just kind of where I'm going to leave this video today. I might have another story time in the future where I meet this guy, because they said some other stuff about him, dude, that was like, I don't know if I want to repeat it. I think I just need more of a personal firsthand experience with this guy. So I might put myself in, you know, the throes and the clutches of beating this uncomfortable dude, and hey, I might get some content out of it. I almost thought about, I had to start recording some of the clip of them talking about this guy, dude. It was so funny. And I have the clip. I might include it in here, bro, but these guys are hilarious. The audio is kind of bad, but I'll consider it. I'm not sure yet. But if you enjoyed this, drop a like, come through with the sub, and until next time, remember to take it easy, gamers.